The Belle Collective, Season 7, Episode 5, Table for Two, Drama for 10. The drama between Latrice and Letitia, with the therapist, we left off with them breaking down, and she just letting them know that, there is probably something between y'all that, of course, y'all miss about each other. For Latrice, it was the person who she thought she was, okay? Because obviously for her everything was a lie, and it's all fake. And for Letitia, it's like, she do miss Latrice, and they was cool, like can't call her and kiki with her no more like that. So it is what it is. They can't mend nothing now, but at least the therapist helped them get a little bit of clarity as to where they should go to move forward. So next we see Carrie and Matt, and of course they're discussing the whole girls thing and Carrie and how that went with the girls. She feels that, obviously, her friend did all that she could, okay, but ultimately Latrice and Letitia just gonna have to sit down, one on one and hash that out. Other than that, Brick and Spoon, the mobile location is still, in the works. And Matt, on the other hand, is thinking about doing something on his own himself, opening up his own business, and creating some type of legacy for himself and his family, be setting more examples for his kids, as to, you don't just always have to stick with whatever jobs that you do in your career. He's a baseball player. He's been in that same career for pretty much, up until now, playing baseball, what do you say, scouting, agent, so what's next? And for Carrie, hey, you the wife, support, sure, I'm supporting. But it is a little bit scary because, dang, you go quit your job on me like this. You know how it go. But, be confident in your man. He pretty confident. So I'm sure whatever he figures out, he'll do well. Then we go see Latrice and Cliff at the doctor's office. Miss Lady got some fibroids going on. This is like a reoccurring situation because she had them before, but they've come back, and it could possibly be because of the because of the blood clots, or the blood clots forming because of the fibroids. Excuse the tongue twisting going on today. Jesus, was this Monday? But yeah, doctor told her she got to get some surgery and get those out. So of course she nervous and everything, but everything should work out just fine. Okay, so I'm going to try to not get really irritated with this Glendale situation with Letitia, because it's just frustrating to watch at this point. Like, I can't, and I don't know how Letitia is dealing with it, but honestly, like, they go to this photo shoot. Letitia got this photo shoot for this show that she trying to work on, right? So she getting the pictures done, getting glammed up. She got her team there. It's Donald, who is the producer, investor, whatever, that we met last time. And then now we get to meet her manager. His name is First. I don't know if we met him last time, but while the shoot is going on, Glenn shows up, okay? So it is a surprise because he was not invited, which is why he showed up. Because why I can't be here? And his first thing goes to is, hey, I want to be CC'd, copied on all the emails. I want to be on all the three-way calls. I need to know everything that she's doing, and I need to be involved. Why didn't nobody call me? I should be here, okay? And Donald walks up to try to respectfully speak to him, and I'm to explain what's going on and things of that nature, right? But with this, First walks up, okay, and interrupts this conversation that Glenn has started with Letitia and Donald, okay? So while Donald is trying to explain first pops up and he has an attitude. He actually had an attitude when Glenn walked in, because if you see it, he was like, man, what he doing here? Like something like that. That was like his reaction. So he hear Glenn talking about being CC'd on the emails. He like, what you need to be CC'd for? Who you need to be on the emails with? That's, So right there, here go Glenn. What you mean? Who you talking to, man? You the manager? Well, you even go do manager stuff and this and this and that. Okay? So with this, it's starting a big old argument. We got to calm everybody down. Drag first out. Glendale, let's explain. This is a business. This is Letitia's team. You getting all rawed up in here. We trying to do a photo shoot. She over here crying and things now. Oh my God, I can't believe you, Glenn. Calm down. Be quiet, please. First obviously frustrated because, right, what the heck is you doing here? This is our business. You interrupting. Time is money. All those type of things that managers would say or think. Donald is trying to be cool, calm, collective. He kind of already know what Glenn has got going on, thinking that, right, he trying to move in on his wife as well. But nobody is trying to do that, okay? This is all his insecurities, all his, jealousies. I don't even know, really. But for him, it's just, because I'm the man, I'm the husband. It's just something that I need to do. Because if anything goes wrong, I'm going to be the one that she's going to be running back to help her pick up the pieces. Woo-de-woo-de-boo-de-boo-de-boo. Right? But don't that go the same way for you? If you quitting your job and all that bull, coming crawling back home to be picking up your pieces and all that bull? Listen, I don't know. That's what I say. I'm trying not to get too frustrated with it, right? Because I already know where he coming from, right? And it's on some bullshit, and I ain't having it. Because if I was Letitia, this right here would have been the last straw. You walking up into my workplace, business place, while I'm working, interrupting. Yeah. You do not need to be on everything. You do not need to be involved with everything. I will tell you when I'm doing X, Y, Z, when events and pop up, when time said whoop, whoop, boop. But if you are not the contractor, you are not the editor, you are not the writer, you are not the producer, you are not the manager, you are not the assistant, you are not any of these things with the title, boop, 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 besides husband, that you think oversees all of this. Gosh, he just don't want his wife to have no independence at all. And Glenn, honestly, look at the men that you are honestly trying to fight or defend your honor or your wife. First, and Donald, no offense to nobody overweight or big guys and all that stuff, right? Big dudes, Donald married. Baby first might be married. I'm just saying, you was gonna try to fight this man. Not to say who's going to wear it, who wasn't, because I don't know. Some fat dudes can move, okay? I'm not, I'm just saying. Or some big people can move, I probably shouldn't say that word. But anywho, trying to fight, it ain't really happening. But Letitia got to set some boundaries, today, when it comes to her team, when it comes to her husband. Because this business and personal stuff cannot mix, especially if your husband gonna keep coming in, interrupting, and trying to fight everybody. It's just not gonna work. And for Glenn, yes, you think you're doing right. Everything is all the best interest of your wife. It's what you're doing. It's what you're thinking. Yes, all the right things or whatever. But the outcome is always wrong. So that's the thing that maybe you need to go back to the drawing board. Because like I said, the old traditional way that he thinking of is not here anymore. That's all I'm saying. It's just women are more independent in our thinking, in our business, in our life. We do love the husbands to be a support, to be our backs, the backbone, to be all of those things. But controlling and that's not gonna work. So Marie got her another building for her business. I think she said this is number 9 for her mental health and wellness business that she got going on. I forget the name, but she got Selena there checking it out, talking it over, catching up. They ain't seen Carrie in a while. She done went back home to Biloxi, and yeah, Selena getting ready for this marriage. They just talking about, getting prepared for that. Marie giving her a little bit of advice, just saying, stuff she went through with Cedric. For her, it wasn't right. So maybe for Selena, it's just something to keep your eye on, just in case. I was like, look, just in case. You never know. So Selena sits down with Latrice at Selena's shop. She has a jewelry collection line that she sells, handmade pieces. So that's kind of cute and cool, whatever. I forget what it's called. Something like chic something. Chic by me, chic by who, chic by you. Okay. 10% Selena. Jingo, got you. Um, and dang, I never really noticed that Selena had all this stuff going on, personally wise, besides dealing with Mike and trying to get married to him, grieving the death of her son. Her health has taken a few ups, turns and twists, ups and downs, to where, they were speaking about Tamara. Is she okay? How is she doing? She's doing okay. She's just at the hospital by her father's side, doing what she got to do with family. But it does bring up the memories with Selena, because she's like, I've had a stroke too before and had to relearn everything, walk, talk, all that stuff. So, she's in understanding and in prayers with Tambra, and just letting Latrice know, with them blood clots and fibroids she got, girl, you just got to make sure you stay at the doctor, keep up your health, and do all the, because you just never know. And I think because of the said stroke, she actually has seizures now, to where she actually, if Mike's gonna be with her and all those things, had to teach him, just in case you see me, this is what you need to do. So, good lesson for all of us ladies. Okay, get your checkups. We need to be healthy, stay right. So Carrie goes over to meet with her, I'm guessing her partner in business. And, they are discussing the hard truths, that this Mobile brick and spoon just might not cut it. And we're going to have to, maybe cut our losses while we are, you know, ahead, so to speak. Obviously it's very sad, something that she doesn't want to do, because, you spend all this time opening up something and you just don't want it to fail. And not only that, you have to go and tell all your employees and things of that nature that, oh, we have to leave, and it's over. So sad moment, but she'll pull through them. It's not like this was her only one. Um, but she can't pull herself down, just trying to keep it afloat. So, and we end the episode with Latrice and Letitia actually sitting down for their one-on-one talk. And actually went better than expected, I think. Well, you know what? I think it went well. You know what I'm saying? They didn't really argue at all. Um, they kept their voice levels down, and they both said their piece, okay? And we can agree to move on. So that was good. Letitia just basically told her, that whole thing at your house with that party, it triggered me, and that's kind of just what set off this whole, basically battle between you. Um, for Latrice, she's like, well, how about we just we'll we'll pick something that we want each other to leave us alone about, okay? And never speak of it again. So for Latrice, she told Letitia, like, okay, well, with that, let's not bring up Amanda no more. No more Amanda talk. No more whatever she had in the DMs, okay? Okay, cool. I can let that go. For Letitia, it was no no Amanda Top and no oh shit, how I don't forgot that quick. But it was something. What they do to each other? Either way, they agree that they ain't gonna do it no more, which was cool, okay? Now we can talk. Okay. Now we broke the ice. We cool. We can be around each other. We update each other on, how Glenn doing, how Cliff doing. Latrice gives Tisha her advice about Glenn and being in the business, Glenn versus first, you gotta keep your manager in his place. You gotta keep your husband a husband, right? So for her, first was in the wrong. Well, obviously, first was the one who popped it off. He shouldn't have came into the conversation that Glenn was having with Donald, because Donald had it under control. First messed it up. Okay. So, now we moving on, and they said, oh, since we can talk and things like this, see how this is going? We're cool. We cool now, right? Let's host something together for the whole collective to show them that we are communicating and that we can actually work together within this group. Okay. And with the other ladies, because obviously everybody's not perfect, we can all get to an understanding and get to that reset that Letitia's been hoping for. We just need a collective reset. That's all, just a reset. And we'll all get back on the same page. And we'll be back into our old sisterhood lives. Cool. And that's how we end the episode. We can agree to move on. And I think that's just exactly what they needed. We don't need to keep going back, rehashing all that old stuff, because that's just gonna keep making us mad, going in circles, no resolve. But if we can just dead the situations, we already know how we made each other feel, dead it, move on. Cool, gotcha. So that's it. We'll get to the next episode where we get to see Glenn and Cliff make up, which I know that Glenn and they know they've been waiting. Like, oh, my bro, I got my brother back. Yes. And catch up with the other Bells and see how, this event goes. So, talk to y'all later. Thanks for watching. Belle Collective.